Hi, it's Amy.
And it's Tim from GoWithLess. A couple of weeks back, we released a video that is going to be the closest thing that we call to viral. It's viral-ish is what we may call it. As of today, it's had over 70,000 views, and that video was about the 10 steps that we took to make our early retirement happen. We see a question that we're consistently getting not only in the video, but also in our normal life about why would you want to leave your work? If you had work that was fulfilling, just work forever. So today, we're going to address that specific question.
And if you are watching us and you're brand new to our channel, welcome. We often talk about things we're doing with our early retirement because we've been retired for 4 years now. We talk about a lot of travel, and that includes ways to travel around the world on less money. That includes things like travel hacking and house sitting and stuff like that. But clearly people have some interest in this early retirement conversation on YouTube, so we are going to address this because if you are on a path to early retirement, there is no doubt that you're going to get this question or almost like an objection to your early retirement in your own life. So if you don't subscribe yet, we hope that you will down below or in the corner. And with that, let's get started.
We've been retired for a little over 4 years now. Amy left her work when she was 46. I left mine when I was 48. And we get this question, I'm not even going to say it's a question, it's more of a statement. Somebody will tell us on a regular basis, you should not have left your work. You should have had a career that you loved and you wouldn't have this need to rush out and get retired.
And I'm going to start with number one. The past 4 years have been the most glorious days of my entire life. And I've had a pretty good life, but the past 4 years, thank goodness I had all this time to retire. We have been traveling the world and volunteering and spending more time as a family together. It's been fantastic. But I do want to speak about our careers because we didn't hate our jobs. And we are two different people. So we have two different career paths. We have two different opinions. We get asked about the kind of jobs we were in all the time. We were both in sales. Well, sales encompasses a lot. It encompasses people selling $100 million homes in New York City, and it encompasses people selling cell phones by the hour at the mall. These are both in sales. So we were not at either one of those levels of sales, but we both had professional sales jobs.
Most of my career consisted of selling telecommunications infrastructure that lit up fiber optic cable. Towards the end of my career, I sold other kinds of technical stuff that tested fiber optic cable. So I was really a technical sales guy, sort of an engineer and salesperson mix. So I was highly compensated for that. However, it also meant that I was on the road. I had to see customers all over the country as well as in Canada. So I was on the road quite a bit. As a matter of fact, that's how I got my introduction to travel hacking, is all the travel that I did for my work. My travel, unfortunately, took a big toll on my health. It took a toll on my relationships. It was not a good thing to be on the road away from my family all the time.
And I had a very different kind of a sale. I had like the day-to-day, business-to-business sales, and I sold really high-end information that was very specialized. I sold to attorneys, Wall Street, Fortune 500 companies, stuff like that. And then I took off 5 years to raise the 3 children, and I finished my career with 4 years selling online advertising, business-to-business online advertising. Now, there are lots of good things about that job, even though I left it. I left at least a dozen people who I have lifelong friendships with and I love and adore. I had 2, 3, 4 bosses at that company that were different managers involved with me that were unbelievable. Some of my clients, we spent Christmas Eve with one of my clients, and I'm still friends with a lot of my clients to this day. So there was a lot of good, and if I could just go and be social at work, I would have never left that job. However, I had really serious quotas my entire life, my entire career, and there were a lot of deliverables. So if I didn't have to do the deliverables, I would have kept that forever, and there would be no reason to leave because I'd be with my BFFs all day, every day.
Yeah. Sales jobs are also tough just because there's the pressure to sell something. So there's this thing called a quota that you have to meet, and if you don't meet it, then you're not going to have a job. So there's a lot of pressure that comes with being a salesperson that just isn't very pleasant. I likewise had great relationships with a lot of my coworkers and a lot of my customers, and there were a lot of things that I liked a lot about my job. However, the idea of being free and waking up in the morning and doing whatever it is that I want to do, whatever it is that I choose to do, not whatever it is that the company that I'm working for wants me to do, but it's whatever I want to do. That's why Amy, and I guess I'll let Amy speak here, but why I left my work is so that I could go and do whatever it is I want to do on a given day.
And here's how we look at it. If we would do this job for free, great, do it forever. And if you are watching this and debating, do I retire or do I not retire? Ask yourself a question. Would I do this work for free if I was paid absolutely nothing? Would I still keep doing this job? Now, Tim and I have put that into practice the past 4 years. The majority of our past 4 years we have tons of work that we're doing. And some YouTube commenters like to say, you have a YouTube channel, you're not retired. P.S. We've made like $200 in a year on YouTube with lots and lots of work and effort and purchasing cameras and lights and microphones and all kinds of stuff. P.S. But yes, that is a lot of work, but we do it for free. $200 in a year for 2 people is not like living large and making an income. So would you do your job for free? And we would not have done our old job for free as much as we enjoyed it. We wouldn't have done it, so it made sense to walk away because we could afford to walk away. I estimate that we spend more than 300 hours a year each volunteering. So we are giving away more than 8 weeks of full-time work on our volunteer jobs.
Yeah, and I think in our sales jobs, the sales jobs were about selling something for a company and basically making money for that company. The things that we do now are more things that we're a little passionate about. We have a passion for the places where we volunteer. And so it's exciting to be giving our time away to these places where they need the help and we're there to provide some help.
Yeah, and also we like to travel. We were on the road for 100 days the past year, and we're going to be on the road more than 100 days this year. Next year, we're going to be on the road for 365 days forever. What we realized is time is short. Don't be doing something that you don't want to be doing if you have options. And being financially independent gave us the freedom to make those choices. When Tim and I are doing all this traveling, we walk an estimated 8 miles every single day, almost day after day after day. We cannot be doing that when we are 60s, maybe 60s we'll be doing it, but we probably won't be doing it in our 70s as much as we do now. It's kind of backbreaking walking. We love it, so it's not backbreaking makes it sound like it's bad, but it is physical and it is tough and it is good because it keeps us more fit, but we aren't going to be able to do this forever, and having 2-3 weeks of vacation a year wasn't getting it done. So we wanted the opportunity to be able to travel all the time.
Something else we want to say about our travel is that it's not necessarily like vacation travels. We're going to places, we want to be there, meet locals, get to know what it's like to live in a place. So there are certainly elements of vacation whenever we travel. We call it slow versus fast travel. So we do fast travel that's more sort of vacation-like, where we're trying to see the sights and things like this. But our preference is to be slow traveling and trying to live like locals in a new place.
And we haven't really been able to do that yet because we still have a daughter at home. So we haven't had the time to do slow travel. In a year, our whole life should be about slow travel, and we're really excited about that.
We want to see and experience as much of the world as we possibly can. And if we were still in our jobs and we had 2 weeks of vacation every year, that would really put limitations on the amount of the world that we could possibly see.
Yeah. And the way that we look at it, if you love your job and you would do it for free, do it forever. Contribute to society in that hopefully meaningful way, and good for you. But we're not regretful in any way about the decisions that we've made in our career. We're happy that it gave us the freedom and the income to be able to live our life of complete, loving every minute of our life now.
Yeah, and it's not a life of leisure. It sounded like there was an L word coming there. And so we do not have, our life is busier now, I think. We say we don't know how we had time to work whenever we were employed. And so our life is not about leisure in any way, shape, or form.
Or leisure.
Or leisure. That's exactly right.
And there's our video. I know that a lot of our subscribers are early retired already. Are you getting these kind of judgments? Are you hearing this in your own life? And what are you saying about that? What are you doing in your retirement? Are you wishing that you were back in your career?
So please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe down below. And thank you so much for watching this week.
We'll see you next Wednesday. Au revoir.